Yo guys, what's up? Today we'll be watching the scariest videos in the internet. Stay tuned. Cause yep, I am in my bed right now and I'm starting to get scared already. Let's go. Get your snacks, headphones. Yeah, go get your popcorn now.
This first video was captured in the middle of the night at an apartment complex in Toledo, O. The doorbell footage shows a man knocking on the front door with what looks like a firearm in his waistband. Now, the owner of the apartment didn't recognize the man, so she would question who it was. The unknown man would simply respond with "It's me." The homeowner would then further question his response, but rather than clarifying, he would simply give a way through the front door. However, it would not be enough to get the homeowner to open it, so you would ultimately walk off. Disturbingly, as he does so, a second man pops up from a nearby dumpster and also walks off.
Alright, you guys start to get creeped out. Make sure
But this wouldn't be the end of it. The two would then walk around to the back door, where they would attempt to pick its lock. The police were called, and when they arrived, the two were gone. Fortunately, unsuccessful in getting the door open. It's not 100% clear what the 2-minute planned. The almost empty-looking backpack at the first guy suggests they had planned to rob the place. But it's also possible they had much worse intentions. The two of them have yet to be identified by police. The homeowner in Texas would wake up one morning to find the gate into his backyard wide open. Curious, the man would review the cameras he had around his house, and this is the sign he was met with.
Oh, bro has a knife. Bro is not playing. He's a murderer. He has a knife.
A man holding a knife and in a clown costume, complete with the suit and mask, casually walks around the property, looking inside the house and testing all the doors.
Yo guys, this is why you should always lock your doors. You never share your password, phone number. So this is the reason why you should never tell your address, phone number, or even your street and house number. Never tell them. Never tell any personal information.
This will, of course, take place
Otherwise,
in 2016,
this will happen to you, and always
during
lock
that
your
sort
doors
of
for
killer
safety.
clown craze that went on for a few months.
And also, call 911.
Looking back, most people that participated in that were most likely just having fun trying to scare people. But there's no denying that others took advantage of the situation, genuinely attempting some pretty horrific crimes hidden under a clown mask, with this likely being one of those cases. It's clear the person in the costume is actually trying to break into the house with a knife. Though after being unsuccessful, the clown would eventually walk off, and despite a police report, that would be the end of it. Ultimately, the homeowner would be left with nothing but this disturbing footage. This footage was captured in Colorado in the middle of the night. The issue 3 mountain lions appearing from the darkness and starting to walk around a set of houses.
Lions?
They were captured even going as far as to walk up onto the porch of one of the houses. Mountain lion sightings are known to be exceptionally rare in this specific area. Typically, they'll stay a lot further in the mountains where they have easier access to the deer that they prey on. To see them in an area with a lot of people, especially in the neighborhood, is not at all common, at least in this area. The 3 cans would eventually walk off, but there are almost no doubt things would have gone differently had one of these homeowners left their pets outside for the night, or possibly were even outside themselves. This doorbell camera footage was captured in Overland Park, KS, in March of 2017. Shown in the video is a nearby active house fire. The home of the neighborhood just across the street has been completely engulfed in flames. As the fire department arrives, neighbors can be seen desperately moving their parked cars away from the house.
No, that's the fire truck. Get your water ready.
A flaming piece of debris can be seen falling and landing on a set of bushes just in front of the camera.
Oh, there's fire in his house.
The bushes quickly burst into flames. The fire starts spreading quickly, but before it's able to get out of hand, a neighbor notices it and attempts to put it out. He grabs a garden hose and sprays the fire while pressing the house's doorbell. However, the owner of the house isn't home and frantically tries to communicate this through the doorbell speaker.
Yeah, put out the fire, put out the fire. Come on, man, you got it.
In the end, the fire department would be able to put out the house fire, and with help from the neighbors, prevent it from spreading to nearby houses.
Yo, that's crazy.
This video was posted by Doorbell News in September of 2022. This video shows a man knocking on the door at 3 a.m. He pounds on the door multiple times. This guy needs some help, but it's 3 in the morning and he needs to go away. He asks the homeowner to come to the door and talk to him.
Excuse me, miss. Can you come talk to me, please?
There was no reply from the homeowner. The guy went into the street and started looking for a lift. Then he comes again and starts pounding on the door. He gets aggressive and starts yelling. The homeowner called the police. I don't know what he was looking for, but it was bizarre behavior. Historical footage was recorded just before 4 o'clock a.m. on a night in August 2020. The video captures an unidentified man walking in front of a house and emptying a gas container over the yard and front porch. Shortly after he disappears off-screen, a large fire erupts just in front of the camera.
Oh, he probably placed gasoline in the floor. Oh my god, he is savage! He put gasoline onto the floor.
No one would be injured during the incident, however. Unfortunately, 2 houses and a vehicle would be damaged. The homeowner would claim to have no idea who could be responsible or who would even consider doing this to them. At least from an outside perspective,
Bro, I feel bad
the
for
act
that
looks
guy.
completely random with seemingly no reason behind it, making the clip all the more unsettling.
He just got his house burned.
On a night in September of 2021, a homeowner would get a suspicious knock on his door at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Upon opening his phone and looking at his doorbell camera, he would see 2 would look like teenagers identifying themselves as CPD or Columbus Police Department.
CPD, open up. We need to ask you a couple questions.
The video shows the man in the front clearly holding a firearm, and the house sitter would eventually access the doorbell camera speaker to further question him.
Oh, he has a gun.
Can I help you? CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions. I'm sorry? CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions. May you please step to the front door, please? CPD. Yes, this is CPD. We would like you to step to the door, please.
That is not CPD, bro, and I don't know what CPD.
Can I see a badge?
Like, it's a type of cop or something?
We would like you to step to the door, please, sir. I don't have to show you my badge, sir.
The man refuses to show a badge because, well, obviously, he doesn't have one. The homeowner knew what was going on, so rather than stepping to the door, he would call the real police department and report 2 armed men at his front door. After a couple of minutes, the 2 would once again attempt to get the homeowner to open the door. But after that failed, and they would run off before the real police could show up.
CPD, open the door.
Earlier that dude was holding a gun. They probably kidnapped him.
The 2 were most likely just looking to rob the man when he opened the door. But I mean, it's possible they had worse intentions in mind. There's just no way of knowing for sure. Both of them were never identified by police. In May of 2018, a woman would leave her parts car that was just outside her house unlocked overnight. Not surprisingly, someone would find the unlocked car and proceed to steal multiple items that were owned by the woman.
Look at the top
A few
right.
hours later, the man responsible for the theft would be caught on the woman's doorbell camera attempting to use her set of keys that he had just stolen to unlock her house's front door.
Another robbery? Dang. I feel really unsafe. I'm gonna close my closet, so...
This all took place while the
my
house owner was home and sleeping.
Just give me a second.
But luckily, the set of keys he had stolen didn't have a house key on it, so the guy just ended up walking off.
About those
Had the set of keys contained a house key, things most likely would have ended much differently. Shown in this doorbell camera footage is an unknown man wearing an oddly disturbing mask. As he walks up to the door, his emotions alert the camera to start recording. And that's when you can see him grab the door handle, realize it's locked, and hesitantly knock on the door.
That's what you should do if you get scared. Get scared in the middle of the night. I think I sound like very entertainable for you.
The man would wait for only a few seconds before he would pull his sleeve over his hand and wipe off his fingerprints from the door handle before walking off. Around a minute later, the homeowner would come to the door and now see the man across the street sitting in a car. When she yelled down to him to see what he wanted, he would quickly speed off. The homeowner would later state that she had no idea who this man could have been or what he was doing there. The fact that he removed his own fingerprints from the door handle suggests that he had most likely given them to the police at some point. It's not completely unreasonable to conclude that this man had some sort of criminal record. Something else of note is that someone's heavy object can be seen weighing down his front pocket. It's not clear what this is, and more importantly, it's not clear who this man is. The mask would ultimately make it impossible for police to identify both the man's identity and his intentions. In July of 2021, Amanda Noack updated her Facebook with an alarming video. She took this video from her Ring doorbell as she set in for sleep. Someone rang her doorbell. She checked the app, only to see a man with gray hair and a full-grown gray beard presently knocking on her door and ringing the bell. Amanda didn't recognize this man, so she ignored the knocking, but the stranger didn't leave. As well as knocking, he kept repeating he wanted to talk to her and had questions for her.
Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions. Are you sure? What? Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure? Are you absolutely certain?
When she was home alone, she called her husband to tell him what was happening and called 911. So Amanda's husband accessed the camera from his phone and saw the man. Ignoring him wasn't doing the trick, so he decided to talk to him using the speaker.
Who are you? What? Yeah? Are you sure? Who are you? Hey, I just had a couple questions. I just wanted to ask you about vidieos.
Bro, who is this guy?
Yeah, can you hear me? What I'm looking for is the girl that's in the house to come out here because I'm going to take her in. You have her over the door? You're raping the girl that's on the other side of the store when she lets me in. I want to rip her into her because I have a knife. A gun.
Oh my god, bro.
And I just, I'm going to knock on the door again. Alright.
After threatening the woman in a stone-cold tone, he's gone. He doesn't even seem scared off. He just leaves. As the man calmly walks away, he continues to talk to himself down the street. Amanda was terrified, but she feared this man might move to another house and hurt someone. So she took the creepy footage and posted it on Facebook. And it was thanks to this Facebook post that this man was arrested.
Alright, we're good. Watch Titanic.
Imagine being on a cruise ship surrounded by the endless ocean, where every corner should feel safe. But for one young woman, this dream turned into a chilling nightmare. Rebecca Corium, a 24-year-old from England, was living her dream, working as a youth counselor on the Disney Wonder, a luxurious cruise ship. But in March 2011, something went terribly wrong. This is the last time anyone saw Rebecca alive. She was caught on CCTV, visibly distressed as she made a phone call. What could have caused her such worry? The truth remains hidden in the depths of the ocean. Rebecca disappeared without a trace. The crew searched the ship, but she was nowhere to be found. Her family and friends were left with more questions than answers. How does someone just vanish on a ship filled with people? Some say she might have fallen overboard, lost to the unforgiving sea. But others believe something far more sinister happened that night. Was there someone on board who knew more than they were telling? The investigation yielded few clues. The authorities ruled it an accident, but many questions were left unanswered. What was Rebecca's final phone call about? Who was on the other end of the line? And why was she so scared? Rebecca's family still searches for answers, refusing to let her memory fade into the unknown. The Disney Wonder continues to sail, but the ghost of Rebecca Corium lingers in the minds of those who remember her story. What really happened to Rebecca Corium? The ocean keeps its secrets well, and this one may never be revealed, but the haunting mystery remains. A reminder that even in the most magical places, darkness can lurk beneath the surface. Rebecca Corium, lost at sea, but never forgotten.
Ken has visited every continent, and with saving...
Lost at sea, but never forgotten. A cruise is supposed to be a place of joy and celebration, especially on a honeymoon. But for George Smith IV, what began as a romantic journey turned into a terrifying mystery that remains unsolved to this day. George Smith IV had just married the love of his life, Jennifer. They boarded the Royal Caribbean's Brilliance of the Seas for their honeymoon, expecting a trip filled with love and adventure. But something went terribly wrong. On the night of July 5th, 2005, George was last seen at the ship's casino, enjoying drinks and celebrating with other passengers. But in the early hours of the morning, something happened in their cabin that would change everything. Reports say that loud noises, possibly an argument or a fight, were heard coming from George and Jennifer's cabin. The details of what happened next are shrouded in mystery, but by morning, George Smith IV was missing. Bloodstains were found on the awning below the couple's balcony, leading to the chilling conclusion that George had somehow gone overboard. But how? Did he fall? Was he pushed? Or was there something more sinister at play? The ship continued its journey, but the search for George was unsuccessful. His body was never recovered. The sea had swallowed him whole, leaving only questions behind. What really happened to George Smith IV that night? Some believe George was the victim of foul play, possibly involving other passengers who had been with him that night.
Alright guys, I got
Others think he may have accidentally fallen overboard after too much drinking. But the truth remains elusive.